Hi, it's Brad from BackcountrySkiingCanada.com, and today we're going to talk about some shoveling techniques. I've got the K2 backside rescue shovel here. It's got an extended handle option for easier digging on your back. It also has a hoe option, so the handle can be put inside the shovel blade and you can actually hoe the snow out, and I'll show you that a little later. But what I want to show you today was, once you've got a strike on your probe, you want to start digging immediately behind the probe if you've got a burial of 1 meter or less. So in this case, I would start digging in this location here, and keep in mind that in avalanche debris it's going to be extremely hard, so you may have to dig out chunks as you go because it's going to be settled snow. I would start digging in a V formation. I don't want to pigeonhole just on that hole. I've got to go down 1 meter and I've got to clear snow behind me. Luckily there's a good slope here, and I want to dig in from a wide point to the probe itself. If the person is buried down farther than 1 meter, then you have to use a multiple of 1.5. So if they're buried 2 meters, you would start 3 meters back from the probe. So I would start digging back here and start tunneling in. Much quicker to do that than start burrowing down 3 meters this way and end up on top of the victim and have nowhere to put the snow. So again, just to recap, shoveling directly below the probe for less than 1 meter, digging chunks and getting rid of the snow behind you. If you've got more than 2 shovelers, we're going to look at conveyor method as well. So with the K2 backside shovel, there is a hoe option, which is fairly new in the last few years. If I hit the quick release on the shovel blade here, I can turn the handle around, and there's also a quick release doohickey on the shovel on this end. I can put it back together, and now I've got a hoe method where if I'm clearing snow, I can just drag it out, and it's very effective for moving large amounts of snow. I would, of course, probably dig straight down to this subject because they're less than 1 meter, but in the conveyor method, it's very useful if you're at the back of the chain to remove snow, and we'll look at that now. So now we're going to talk about the conveyor method of shoveling. Ideally, we should have 3 people here, so we'll just pretend there's a third. Andrew's going to be my second person in the chain. He's got his shovel in hoe mode now. His job is to clear the snow away as I dig out the blocks at the front. We're going to start well back of the probe since the subject is buried down about 1.5 meters, let's say. So we're going to start 1.5 times the distance of that back from the probe. So we're back about a good 2.5 meters here. We're going to start digging in a V formation, so we want to clear the snow out sideways here so we have lots of room to get rid of that snow. I'm going to start cutting blocks here because the avalanche debris will be quite hard, and I'm going to dig as fast as I can until I get tired, probably 20-30 seconds. If I can get more than that, great. And then I'm going to call switch, and we're going to rotate clockwise. So Andrew would typically go into the left-hand position here, and the person that's not here would come and take over for me. For the sake of this video, Andrew's going to come up and take over my duties, and I'm going to fall back and take over his duties. And the thing to remember here too is spacing. We don't want to be conking each other in the head with shovels, so we want to be back far enough so that we're not hitting each other. We don't want to hurt somebody, and we just start digging. So after 30 seconds has gone by, I will be exhausted digging so hard and furious. I'll call switch, Andrew will move around, our third person would move up, I would go to the back, and we would continue digging as hard and as fast as we could. All right, and as you can see, it's a contact sport, snow all over the face. The goal here is to get down to that subject as quickly as possible. Deep burials are going to take you a long time even with 3 people, but in this method you can move huge volumes of snow in a very little time. That's the conveyor method, and thanks for watching. For more instructional videos, go to backcountryskiingcanada.com.